Now, this is how we just push, we just add to the head. Now, one other thing to note is that we are also going to need to count. So remember, we have this count right over here. So right before actually we return the head, we want to add in the count. Now you could just add it right over here. So count plus equals 1. But there's a better way of doing this because, this is simple code, but in other cases, you might have more complicated codes, and you will see later on in this series for the linked list. So what is more preferred is to just add a defer. Now, what does the defer do? So I'm just adding defer count minus 1. What this does is, just do everything, including the return, but before we return, do this part, the code between the deferred two curly braces. So go all the way in, and before you close this function, in our case it's returning, before that, do the defer. And usually you want to put the defer in front of your, on top of your function, because it's much more readable and all of that stuff. Okay, so that's how we push. Next up, how do we append? So let's just create another public, and let's just test it out before we move further. So I'm going to add it right over here. So let's create a variable called linked list. It will be linked list, of type int. Okay, great. And then we are going to say a linked list dot, and then we are going to say push with a value of 1. And then let's just print it out. Print linked list. Okay, I think we need to tap on the build right over here. There we go. So 1 has been printed out. Please note that there is no error. So let's copy out these 2 lines and add a little bit more. So 2 maybe over here. Let's build again. And there we go. We printed out this linked list, and then 2 and 1. Now, please note, we are pushing. So this 2 is actually added right in front of 1. Good stuff. Okay.